Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for coming to Startup Pueblo. My name is Dante Bartolo. I'm the Business Development Coordinator with the Pueblo Latino Chamber, also the co-founder of our Pueblo, and one of the co-organizers here for Startup Pueblo. Just as a reminder, Startup Pueblo meets once a month, the second Tuesday of every month here at 5:30 at Brews. And I will go ahead and introduce our first speaker for the evening, Ms. Jeannie Byer, who is the Senior Loan Officer with NeighborWorks. She has 20 years of experience within the financial industry in 5 different states. She received her NMLS in 2020 and has been working with NeighborWorks since July of 2022. And in the past 12 months, NeighborWorks has helped 28 small businesses and closed over $4.5 million in small business loans. Please help me welcome Jeannie.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll take that. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. So, like Dante said, my name is Jeannie Byer. I am the Senior Loan Officer with NeighborWorks. I also am a subsidiary of NeighborWorks called Southern Colorado Community Lending. That is our for-profit piece. So, SCCL feeds NeighborWorks. So, my for-profit feeds my nonprofit. To help them do a lot of the great things that we are doing with NeighborWorks. So NeighborWorks has been in existence for 45 years here in Southern Colorado. SCCL has been in existence since 2016. We started out with our small business lending. We went into mortgages. We have kind of backed away from mortgages right now, but we still do have our down payment assistance and our rehab lending under the SCCL umbrella. So we do those 3 lending options for you. Like he said, I have 20 years experience in the financial industry. I started in the mortgage sector. I was a processor for mortgage for 15-ish years. I got my NMLS so that I can sell loans. So I am licensed in the state of Colorado to do mortgage loans as well. This year alone, from January to July, kind of cut off in July, we have done $4.5 million. We've infused that back into the community with our small business lending. We've helped 28 businesses within Southern Colorado, most of them in Pueblo and Pueblo West. We have done a couple in Colorado Springs as well as Penrose, and one other city that I don't remember. Sorry, it's been a crazy, crazy year. The best thing about SCCL is we are the only CDFI in Southern Colorado. And what this does is this makes us different for the lending purpose of I don't have as big of a structure as a bank. So when somebody goes to PB&T or they go to Bank of San Juan's or Vectra, they have certain standards that they're federally withheld to. I don't have those same standards. So I can help the lower income population or the smaller businesses that need that help that the banks can't give them. That's what our CDFI is able to do. So that gives us a unique upper hand to help the small banks here to make our community bankable in a short amount of time. So that will help the small businesses in Pueblo who what we call is unbankable. And basically what that means is that they can't go to a large bank or a community bank and get a loan. I help them to do that. They make their payments on time. I report back to the banks, and then that makes them bankable so that they can get a loan from PB&T or Vectra or the small community banks. I have 3 small business funds that I can use. We have the BROC or the CDBG, we have front range funds, and we have climber funds. The BROC CDBG funds, next slide, that is through the county. So this is something that we have received from the county in order to infuse our small businesses. We have a BROC board that we work with on a monthly basis that we take our loans to, and they kind of move the money around to say yes or no on who we use. Our next one is the front range funds. This is actually our funds, SCCL funds. So these are all in-house funds that we get to use with small businesses. I have a very small board that I work with within SCCL, and they will help me decide which loans we can do and which we can't. Our last one is the biggest one that I have used, and I'm now getting another $5 million worth of climber funds here within the next 30 to 45 days. I'm very, very excited about this fund. This fund is the fund that has helped me infuse $4.5 million back into the community in the last 7 months, from January to July. I had to cut off in July because we didn't have any funds left. The best thing about the climber funds is they come from CHATFA, so they are state regulated. We receive a fund of, it was $5 million before, I got 4.5 out, and now I'm going to get another $5 million. The best part about this is the interest rate. So my interest rate on this first tranche was 3.9% interest for anywhere between 3 to 5 years. I had to use 3 at the end because I was out of time. Now, my new fund for the climber loans is 6.24% for 10-year amortization with a 5-year balloon. So it helps the community because it has a longer amortization, but I can make them bankable in 5 years. So we are using this to support the small businesses. It was used to support the small businesses coming out of COVID. But now I can use this to help business owners open new businesses, purchase buildings, help with new housing projects if they need that, to infuse the community so we have places to live and entertain and do different things like that. So I'm very, very excited about this fund. Right now I have almost as many applications in my pipeline as I closed the first part of this year. So we are getting ready to ramp up and get most of those closed within the next 30 days. We have an application process just like anybody else does. We have an application that you have to fill out. I ask for your current profit and loss, 2 years business tax returns, a business plan, cash flow projection with the business plan. And then a personal finance statement that's also along with the application. Now, this changes if you are a new business. You won't have your business tax returns, you won't have a profit and loss, but you should have a business plan with at least 3 years of projections, if not 5, depending on what your business is. And I will ask for 2 years personal tax returns to see what your income is to make sure that you can make that payment. And that is my spiel. Pretty simple. So any questions from anyone?
Are you able to tell us any of the businesses you finance?
Actually, I have several in this.
There you go.
If you don't mind. We helped with the new, what are we calling it?
It's a nightclub and a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Sam Dingerman, we've helped him with his projects that he's working on to house nurses.
Okay.
So he's doing some apartment buildings over by Parkview.
Okay.
So we are doing that as well.
Cool.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm on Social Security disability, and so I haven't worked in 30 years.
Okay.
I haven't had to file my taxes in 30 years, so I don't know. And I'm trying to get a business going so I could hopefully work my way off of Social Security disability. Are there any programs that help
We can
people like
actually
me?
just use 12 months of your statements or your
Okay.
Social Security statement that tells me how much you receive every month.
Okay.
And then we can, as long as you have a good written business plan,
Okay.
it shouldn't be an issue at all.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Can you go into more detail about the specifics of what your funds can be used for? Starting businesses, buying little businesses, alternative to SBA 7A, real estate, construction.
Yeah, absolutely. So the SBA loans take forever. I have noticed, I have a client that I'm working with right now that's buying a business out in Colorado City, out in Rye. And it used to be a grow house, and they're going to put something else in it now, which is fabulous. And they were working with a bank to do an SBA. I think it was a 7A. I don't remember what it was, but they were at least 180 days out. So what our funds can do, depending on which fund I use, we can purchase businesses that are existing. We can purchase buildings that are existing to put an existing, something existing into. What else do I use it for? Working capital. I'm getting ready to help a Pueblo West business who already has a loan with us get another loan to infuse their business so that they can ramp up for winter and get more employees so that they can do commercial projects instead of just housing projects. I've done it for a small business who was had a loan through their Square, which I didn't even know was a thing until I started in business lending. Square likes to give anybody a loan at 100% interest, so I help them get out of that debt as well. So
And they take the money
without
even
money.
telling you.
Yeah, they take the money without even telling you, and then they also charge you 18%. They take 18% of all of your proceeds at the end of every day. It's the dumbest thing. It's the worst loan I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I mean, payday loans are right up there with them. So I've helped a business do that. A trucking company. I helped a gentleman start a trucking company that he's hauling rock with now. Trying to think what else I've done. So many different things in the last year. It's insane. So yeah, so we can use the funds on any of those funds for that piece. One thing with the CDBG funds, the Brock funds, we can only use those on the outside of Pueblo. So inside city limits, I cannot use those funds. So they have to be Pueblo West or the county in order to use those funds. I haven't used those funds for a while. We've been using Climber funds for everything because we're a quick close once we have funds. Literally, I can turn a Climber loan around in less than 30 days. So, and that's from application to close. And you receive your money right then. There's no waiting for anything on those.
And also you said commercial building and
Commercial buildings. Yep.
and apartment.
And apartment complexes, everything. As long as I have some sort of collateral for those, then I'm perfectly fine with that. And a good thing of being CDFI here in Pueblo is repayment. I just have to make sure that you guys can that the payment can be remade. So you can make that payment whether it's with with the funds that are coming into the household. You know, if you have a spouse that has a job and can pay that payment, then hey, I'm good with that too. Especially with a new startup business. If you have existing debt, I need to make sure that you can sustain that debt as well as the new debt. The Climber funds, I can go up to $500,000. With a 10-year amortization, 5-year balloon, of course, and that I can change from 5 to 7 if need be, depending on the business. The SCCL or the front range funds, I can do, that's unlimited depending on how many funds I have left in that fund, and that's 5 years straight across the board, and that's about 5 to 7% depending on the business as well. The Brock funds are a 10-year amortization with a 5-year balloon, and we are right now prime plus 2, depending on prime plus or prime minus, depending on the business. So that one's a little bit higher. So that's why I've been using my Climber funds for everything. And they're just more fun. They're more fun to use.
Any other questions? Quick question. Yeah. So obviously very busy individual, very busy office, right? So what is your preferred method for people to reach out to you and just, because a lot of people are going to be testing the water, right? They have kind of that negative, oh, there's no way I'm going to qualify, there's no way I can get this. So how do you prefer people to come to you?
So there's 2 ways. Our application is now live on our website. There's a link. So you can go to our website and fill out the application. I also have a beautiful admin, Erica. She is my gatekeeper, so if you can get past her to me, then you have done your job successfully. Erica takes all of my phone calls. She will help you with the application, any of the documents that are needed. We like to have those documents up front so that when you do have a phone call with me, I can be like yes or no, this is kind of what we're looking at kind of thing. But definitely check out our website. It's live on there as well.
My name is Catherine O'Grady, if I haven't met you before. I am the coordinator for the Southern Colorado Small Business Development Center here in Pueblo. So I know quite a few of you are familiar with our little Small Business Development Center, but tonight was a really special night. One of the things that we hear in our office all the time is we get constant phone calls about funding, right? Like, how do I get a loan? How do I find a grant? We get those calls every single day. And so this was really important for us to put together and try to get it out to people that there are ways to find funding for your businesses. So tonight we actually have 2 speakers, and it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Bonnie Watson. Throughout her impressive career, she has become a champion for small businesses across Colorado. With her passion for entrepreneurship and experience as a fourth-generation business owner, she has dedicated much of her career to helping others build and scale their businesses. Today, as the CEO of Energize Colorado, she is using her skills and knowledge to support underinvested businesses across the state, with a strong commitment to providing entrepreneurs access to the impactful capital and resources they need to succeed. So without any further, I bring up Ms. Bonnie.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. I serve as the CEO for Energize Colorado. I don't know if you know the name Energize Colorado. We're a really new organization compared to a lot of CDFI lenders in the arena. But we actually started during the pandemic, and we started to help fill gaps for entrepreneurs during the pandemic. So we helped entrepreneurs on a statewide scale navigate PPE, EIDL, we read through the CARES Act, we ramped up regional calls to help entrepreneurs really navigate what in the heck was going on. In that time, we deployed over $50 million in our first year of both grant and debt capital to small businesses. And so we're really proud of that work. Going on, we decided that we were going to become a true capital gap provider in the ecosystem of Colorado. So, Jeannie, you really got the hard work. You gave all the details, so I get to talk about the 30,000 feet. So thank you for taking that. You've already done all the hard work. So one of the beautiful things about Colorado is that we're one of the most robust entrepreneurial ecosystems in the nation. So if you go to Kansas, if you go to Nebraska, they don't have, it's not going on there like it's going on here, that's for sure. And that's due to all the folks that are working so hard to build these ecosystems. The one thing at Energize Colorado that we really believe is that you can inject capital into a business, but you also have to have acceleration, you have to have incubation, and you have to have ongoing mentorship to ensure that that capital is used properly. It's much like many CDFIs across the state, you know, that advising or mentorship or whatever you want to call it, that's so important to make sure that the longevity of the company continues to go forward. And so we really believe in that ecosystem building. So with all that in mind, we decided to become a gap capital provider. And when I say a gap capital provider, you know, the ultimate goal for small businesses, as a lot of you know here, being funded, running your restaurants, nightclubs, whatever you may be doing, you know that the ultimate goal is to get to commercial bankability. And you know that if you're starting your business today, you don't have a shot unless you're 3 or more years old, right? And you're gonna get a lot of no's even when you're that old. And so that's really kind of where we play. We play from that, I just started my business, I got friends and family, maybe I bootstrapped, but now I need capital to scale, but I'm not ready for a bank yet. That's where we're playing in that arena right there. And that's what a gap provider is we're finding the capital that you need to essentially bridge you into commercial banking, and we're helping to facilitate those relationships into commercial banking for you. So, like you guys, we utilize the climber funds. The climber funds were set down for your treasury. It's a great program. You should absolutely take advantage of it while the money is here, because it will be here forever. Oh, no worries.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can talk to it. Okay. So it's $75,000 right now with Energize Colorado specifically. Thank you. And it's 36-month repayment term, interest rates as low as 3.9% up to 8.5% with our organization. And you can use this money to provide operating capital for your business, whether it's paying for inventory, employees, CapEx, whatever it may be, paying off debt, for example. It's really operating capital that you can use for your business. And our turn time right now is 14 days, so you can apply and get funded within that 2-week period, which is pretty expedited within the lending arena. And the big thing about Climber is that, as you mentioned, what is prime at today? Is it 8 and 9? 3/4, I think 8.75. So you're looking at a double-digit interest rate. Like we probably will never see this rate environment ever again. We've lived in a very artificial rate environment over the past 10 years since the Great Recession. So take advantage of this money while it is here. The great thing about our organization, as many organizations, will help coach you through that, process of funding. Whether you need documentation, you need a more robust business plan, whatever it may be, we have advisors to help connect you with to make sure that you get that work done. And that's a big differentiator. One thing that I didn't mention in the intro is that we are pursuing our CDFI status, hopefully by the year 2025 if the Treasury gets it together in their guidance for us. But that's really the hope, is that we can continue to help be another CDFI in the arena of lending in Colorado. One thing I'll tag on to what you mentioned. A lot of people, I came from banking, so there's a lot of competition in banking, right? And it's like I'm going to cut out Alpine, and then I'm going to go talk to San Juan, and I'm going to play the field. It's not like that when it comes to community funding for entrepreneurs. I think the ecosystem really views ourselves as being partners in helping fund businesses. And the reason that I say that is because you can take your restaurant deal and you can take it to 5 different lenders. It's not a different deal, but you'll get turned down by 3 of them. And there's not a lot of lenders in the ecosystem. And so I say that with vet all of your resources, go and shop your deal to all of the community funders. It's absolutely worth your time to do that, and it's free of charge too. So do your homework, I guess is what I'm saying in that. One of the other things, and I kind of mentioned this technical assistance piece, so you can get capital, and then you also get educational support through our programming. So we have the Energize Community Accelerator program. So when you go through our funding, you also get a rundown on acceleration for your business. So it's really a tailored portfolio of classes for you, whether it be through the SBDC, whether it be through other providers, to really say, what do you need help on in your business to get funding? Is it marketing? Is it finance? What is it? So we help give that training to you for free. And then we also have a list of vetted advisors that you can schedule time with to go ahead and get a free counseling session with, whether it could be taxes, it could be accounting, all the things that come with business. So we really, really believe in deploying the capital, but then helping you implement the capital through that educational support. So who we serve, it's a very timely conversation, I keep saying this. We are redefining the mission of Energize Colorado, and our mission is to help all entrepreneurs in Colorado. Our focus areas have been BIPOC, veteran women, and rural-owned businesses. I have a deep, deep passion for rural. I grew up in Evergreen, but I've been on the Western Slope for 15 years, especially in Grand Junction, helping elevate rural companies. So, like Pueblo, it's a great time to take advantage of that. And we have actually our director of marketing here, Eric, sitting in the back quietly. But we have done a lot of marketing around the companies that we help. And so I think the question was asked, can you give me an example of a company that you've helped recently? So I'd love for you to play this video. I don't know if there's sound, I didn't ask you that, but sorry, a last minute.
Click it. Try
Link.
Sorry, I interrupt.
That's okay. No, you're good.
And if you can't get it, I can have Eric talk to how these guys are.
Okay.
So Eric, do you want to kind of give, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you want to give, drinking his beer, do you want to give just a 30-second on what our company's doing?
Starting Hearts, they're a Vail-based organization that provides life-saving CPR classes, clinics, and they also do defibrillation units across the nation, actually. The biggest thing about them is that in the areas, the communities that they serve, sudden cardiac arrest deaths have dramatically declined. And that's just an example of one of the businesses that we've worked with in the past. Just a really cool story. They benefited from our Energize Community Program loan just as a way to scale their business, to reach more communities, and ultimately save more lives.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool story. We'll share this afterwards so you guys can actually see this. It's a really powerful video. Eric put it together and shot it himself, but it just kind of shows who we're actually helping within the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Colorado. So a really powerful story. That's okay, no worries. So we also put other community resources in here for you. One thing that I will offer is that you can absolutely reach out to our team if you want to explore other resources, whether it's other funders. We refer out quite often when a deal's not right for us. We'll refer it to other lenders across the state. But there's also a lot of really amazing technical assistance partners throughout Colorado. This is just a very, very small list of them. But do your homework, reach out, ask for help in navigating this. There isn't a nice cheat sheet, as I wish there was for Colorado, but really great resources all over the state for entrepreneurs. So you can access our website here, and if you have any direct questions or if you think you want to apply for funding, you're more than welcome to reach out directly to me, and I will pivot you to our lending team so that you can chat with them. But thanks for having me. I'd love to take any questions if you have questions.
At that loan amount of 75, I'm guessing you probably don't do too much real estate lending.
We don't do any real estate, so it's just operational capital today. Yep, no, not an SBA lender right now, no. Any other questions? How many entrepreneurs are in the room? Couple.
Trying to be.
Yeah, that's all right. That startup journey's tough, man, that's for sure. Any other questions? You took all the time.
What other industries, aside from the one example, like what would be typical? Is it restaurant startups? Is it home service startups?
It's a good question. I mean, it's really a breadth between service products. We've done a lot of childcare funding just due to the challenges that childcare obviously faces in the state. Service businesses, I mean, everything, restaurants, you name it. Like, we have a very diverse portfolio who we help, and really the mission is to help any Colorado that needs it funding. So, yeah, pretty broad portfolio.
So the same with her, just a year's worth of, because I have no history.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yeah, we'll absolutely take that into consideration. The one caveat with our funding is that you have to have at least 2 months of revenue generation within your company to apply.
Oh,
so we don't have, 3 month or 3 year tax return kind of covenant. It's just 2 months of generation, or revenue generation, excuse me. Sorry, it's late in the day.
I don't have a question, but I'm really interested, and I'm glad you guys are doing the education support.
Yep.
Because that's one of the things that I've even stated that I feel like we need to have, because especially in the Pueblo market, Pueblo's this is a different country.
Absolutely.
And operate a business within Pueblo, and especially post-COVID, definitely. I've been in business for myself over 32 years. And this is actually the first time in my life that this is different. Where our economy is, where things are, we're just in different times. So I will be definitely reaching out on that.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can reach out directly to me. And to that, the beauty of Colorado is that it is chock full of people willing to volunteer their time to your business. I mean, they're in every nook and cranny of the state. Sometimes you just have to know where to find them. And so it's worth reaching out to your SBDCs, to your ecosystem entrepreneurial support organizations to find those people. But I can promise you they're there and they're willing to help. And you can go directly to our page too and find those advisors within their skill set and expertise to talk to. So yeah, it's tough. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur myself. I'm very well connected, and talking about shopping a deal, we own the largest co-working chain on the western slope of Colorado, and I took my deal to 6 different lenders and I got turned down by 4. And so it's tough out there, and everybody has different policies, even though you're taking the same deal to them, and you got to do a lot of homework, but the help is there, so don't give up.
Appreciate it.
Where are you based out of?
So right now I actually just moved to Evergreen as of last week, so but our whole team is remote right now, but Denver metro area generally. So yeah. Great. Any other questions? Awesome.
I always love to see passionate people and people that are passionate to help other people. And in the very brief amount of time I've spent researching these individuals and getting to meet them, you have passionate people in this room that want to help you. So thank you both for being here. It means the world. Couple housekeeping things. If you have not checked in for the event, please do so. There's the QR codes there. I will warn you that will mean you're going to be linked to our newsletter, which is incredible. And so you will be receiving our newsletter. Couple other notes. So our next meeting is going to be November 14th, same time, same place. Okay, and we are going to continue on with kind of this access to capital theme. So just keep checking in with us. We have our Facebook page is up and running. We also have a new YouTube channel. So if you miss a meeting, or if you want to replay the meeting and hear some of this wonderful information again, it is available on the YouTube channel. I made it my personal mission to make sure this video from tonight will be available to you tomorrow. And so it'll be there. Yep, and we do have an email address for Startup Pueblo now too. So we are like a real thing. We're rolling. We're rolling.
It's startuppueblo@gmail.com.
Thank you, Prudence. We also do a book club. It's something that we enjoy. We pick books that we feel are very valuable to entrepreneurs, not just in kind of a sticks, rocks kind of procedural, but big thinking, large thinking, entrepreneur thinking, inspirational books. So if you're interested in a book club, our next book club will meet October 17th, and we are doing a book called Outliers.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Thank you, Malcolm Gladwell. So we do those once a month as well. And I do believe that is all of the housekeeping things. Did either of you?
We'll have a meetup in December.
And we are not going to meet in December. So we are going to take December off. Everybody's traveling and busy anyways. We will start back up in January, and I believe we're going to, thank you. We also have surveys. So we want to hear from you guys what else you guys want to hear about, what you feel like you need to learn about. And so we can reach out into the community and into our different resources and bring those kind of speakers and presenters to you. And so take a few minutes. We have pins on the table as well, and then you can just leave them kind of on the corner over here when you're done with them, so we can take a look at them. And we will be back November 14th, and then we'll be back again in January, which I think I'm going to get in the hot seat and talk about franchises in January.
Yes.
So that will be the plan. But thank you again to our presenters so much. Feel free, we have this room for a while. Take your time, network, enjoy yourself, have some food, have another drink. We'll let you know when we're kicking you out. Okay. All right, thank you guys so much.